Hi, I'm Tyler Shull. My wife Lynn and I and our son JT were the owners of Pinebreeze Radon Mitigation. We're your metro, mountain, and rural area radon services provider. We're a veteran-owned, law enforcement-owned, prior law enforcement-owned, and family-owned business. Radon, 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 radon. What is it and why would I care? GQ, no, not general quarters back from the Navy days. No reason to man the battle stations, but GQ, great questions. Firstly, radon is a naturally occurring, colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. It's derived from radium, thorium, and uranium. Yeah, the minerals found in Colorado soil and granite. I said all those big words without stuttering.
Good job.
Cool. Secondly, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the US, right behind cigarette smoking, secondhand smoke. My personal story with radon exposure is this. I grew up on a horse and cattle ranch in northeast Weld County, Colorado, on a uranium hotbed. My family has always had the ranch land leased out, the 3,600 acre cattle ranch leased out to uranium mining. It's been leased out for about 40 years. They've never, with the bureaucracy, government bureaucracy and red tape, it's never been mine, but it's always been there. I suspect growing up on that ranch has led to my trouble with breathing. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, physical trained every day in the Navy, physical trained every day for about 10 years as a deputy sheriff and detective. And all this time I've had trouble breathing, even back before my V-shaped six-pack abs body done fell into this ovaled out and done fell into this egg shape standing before you today. I've always had a hard time breathing, and I really believe that's from the radon exposure on that uranium hotbed ranch. I loved it, but folks, we're all a product of our environment. Everything we ingest, everything that we read, everything that we look at on TV, and for today's purposes in our business, everything that we breathe. Our homes are our personal sanctuary, and just as was mentioned earlier, all of us had to transition to work at home or live in our houses over the last, year and a half. It is so important to have a clean and healthy environment, also from prolonged radon exposure. In our homes, radon rises from the soil, the Colorado soil, in all construction style homes on crawl spaces, slab foundations, basements. Every one of these can be subject to high radon levels. Radon testing is how we determine if a home or business has high levels of radon. A short-term test is what we typically provide to our clients, is a minimum of 48 hours. Radon mitigation is what we recommend if your homes or business is over 4.0 picocuries. Yeah, I know, huge word. For me, that's about as big as it gets. Radon is measured in picocuries. If over 4.0 picocuries, we conduct an assessment of your property to determine best method of mitigation, whether your house is a sub-slab foundation, crawl space, or if it has a sump pump. These are all methods of radon mitigation that we'll take a look at in your home or your business. Here today, what I've been so excited for the last few weeks to offer to everyone at this Million Cups presentation is this. There's these flyers around the room. If you're interested in your home, in your environmental health and safety in your home for you and your family, please grab up one of these flyers. We're offering to all the attendees today a free 48-hour radon testing in your home or your place of business. your choice. Following this testing period, a results report is readily available and will be emailed to you. If the levels are above 4.0, yep, that big word again, an assessment of your property can be made to determine the mitigation and complexity of the system design, followed by a free pricing estimate for the system installation. Folks, I believe in transparency. You know, it worked when I was a cop, it worked when I was in the Navy. Our reason for being here today, my reason for being here today is twofold. We want to build our business in the Pikes Peak region, and it's a service to you for your environmental health and safety. Melanie Jackson is a part of our organization. She's here with a paper for your name, phone number, and email. If you want to follow up on the flyer, I would encourage you to, you know, just reach out to us, even if it's for your friends and families and neighbors. Please take the flyer. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, you certainly still have. Hello. We're back. You certainly still have your guns. We're turning off. Uh-oh, the battery might be dead.
I killed it.
Just have to yell the rest of the day. Yeah, we might have to.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, now we're jumping into the Q&A, everybody. All right, so we're jumping into the Q&A. I want to see those hands in the air. Let's start getting curious about radon.
Yeah, anybody.
How long have you had your business?
I got out of law enforcement in 2002. I got out of law enforcement primarily to help build log homes. Did that until the housing crash in 08, you know, when people realized they wanted money and not just numbers on paper.
Weird.
So, you know, I started looking for other things to do. I owned a roofing company for a while. Partner passed away from stage 4 bone cancer. And after that, we started a home and commercial property inspection, you know, and with radon testing during the inspection process. You know, and more when I put this together in my own personal life and for people in inspections with high radon in Colorado, it just really made sense. So basically 2016.
Out of every 10 homes you test, how many come up positive?
In Colorado, 5, 6.
Wow.
That's really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sitting on the
Yeah, it's the way Colorado was formed, you know.
Yeah.
The granite mountains pushing up through the soil. And that's what you find in granite is the minerals of radon.
If your neighbor is up above 4.0, the chances are you are too, or is that not?
Not always.
Okay.
Usually, it really depends on the soil type. I've seen homes on this side of the street with a hill, you know, a rock hill up behind it, and those are gust high, and the ones closer to the river on this other side of the street, a little more normal soil, the radon levels are actually lower.
Okay.
And it just depends. One of the things I really wanted to put across to everybody is the building style. You know, nowadays homes for efficiency are built so much more. The envelope is tighter, you know, less air movement and everything else. The radon levels in the new homes are actually higher than they used to be.
Would you say, with all the development going out east, you said, you know, homes against rock faces, so we can expect something like off of the west side of town. Would that be more likely to have radon than these new developments going out in the High Plains area, you know, like Mark Sheffel said?
There definitely is some areas that the radon is higher. We've had levels in Fountain where we installed systems successfully that the levels have been up 24, 26. There's some of them in up where I live in Teller County, and we've had some levels in Florissant 105. Yeah, took 2 systems and, you know, some 80s. But yeah, it definitely depends on the area too. We put a lot of systems in Black Forest. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we were just off of Rock Rimmon yesterday.
So you guys recently went through a little bit, not necessarily a rebrand, but a refocus. So tell us about what you've kind of learned from that experience, switching from, because you still do inspection, but you more started pushing the radon side of things and kind of rebranding yourself as more of radon with inspection and not inspection with radon. What's that learning process been like for you?
One of the things that we really found out is when COVID came and the pandemic came, just like I mentioned in the presentation, when that came about, with people really living in their homes a lot, everybody, you know, got on Google and just really there's more emphasis on really wanting to be healthy in your home. So we're growing with that, and it's just something I've been really passionate about. You know, with my own personal experience, and it's just, for us, it's just a tremendous service to you folks. We are still extremely busy with the inspections in the academy, and with Melanie's help, you know, that's just been absolutely awesome. But you know, it's something that we're really growing with, is the radon mitigation, and again, it just really is a service to you folks.
Just a couple questions. It was a little hard to hear back here, so I apologize if you already answered this one. The app here and the little picture on your flyer, what is that?
That is a digital radon testing unit. That's actually what. Here's the really cool thing. We've got I think we've got about 7 of these now. There's more coming in the mail today. I really wanted to beef up on these digital radon testing devices just for you folks in this flyer. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll on this thing. This is what we staged for 48 hours. It's a digital radon testing monitor. It doesn't have to plug in. It's battery operated. It's Bluetooth. So when we come back to pick up the testing equipment, we'll have a report readily available that we can email to you.
And then is that something you use to differentiate yourself from other radon testing or inspection companies in your marketing and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
So you said you installed systems, so I'm assuming that's what gets rid of the radon, so how long does that system, or does that system get rid of it, and how long does that system last?
Great question. GQ. The system, okay, there's a fan. If you have a concrete slab foundation, what we do, we'll take the most aesthetically, woohoo, I got through that one. We'll take the most aesthetically pleasing place on your home, and then on the inside of your house. Typically, a lot of times it can be in a mechanical room, but we'll core a hole in the concrete, and we pull out about 7 to 10 gallons of dirt for a suction pit, and that fan on the outside of the house creates a vortex in that suction pit, and it pulls the gas out from underneath the concrete slab in your home. If you're on a crawl space, we encapsulate the gas down to the soil, and we pull it out with a series of perforated piping through that same fan, and we vent it to the roof line so that the gas doesn't have a chance to re-enter the home. Yeah, anytime you're seeing systems that the vent piping doesn't go all the way to the roof line, there's a chance that it's just re-entering the gas right in the home, and it's totally ineffective. Sorry.
Have you thought about scaling this, like, for example, taking those monitor systems and mailing to somebody like in a remote area, let's say Fairplay, Colorado, where they might not have a radon inspection company, and they rent it for 30 days, and they can just set up in their home, and you could monitor it, because it sounds like it's wireless, so that you could, you know, obviously build your business in different places where you're not necessarily at right now.
Another great question. Yeah, we are trying to do that. I belong to an organization, a company that is, it's Breeze Radon Monitors, and they do exactly that. I went ahead and got the Corinium Pros just for this presentation because they could get them to me right now. The Breeze Radon Monitors, you know, 90 days ago, they were telling me that they were going to be 60 days out, and I was like, well, I can't wait. But yeah, those do exactly that, and I can monitor it from the computer. And when they show up, yeah, we're going to look at that kind of stuff. Great question. Thank you.
So I'm just moving to a new home. We're renting to own at the end of the first year. What does it look like, from a renter's perspective? You're living in a property, you come out and test, and then test hot for high elevated amounts of radon. Is there a legal obligation to take care of this, or is this something that's just up to the?
That's a really good question. We have seen some struggles with that, with renters wanting to be healthy and safe in their homes. Well, please don't tell please don't tell the owner of of our home that we're doing this, but we really want to know. Like a real estate transactions and closings, it's a lot of times it's on the seller to go ahead and pay for that, and then it's totally negotiable, just like anything else in a transaction. But a real competent landlord is interested in your health and safety too. Really is, especially if you're in like a lease option. One of the things that we have that's scrollable, just like back in the roofing days, it is scrollable during a real estate transaction is the mitigation system. It's just signed over to the next, the owners of the house. With us, there's a 10-year warranty on the fan. If you ever have an issue within 10 years, yeah, give us a call. And then there's a lifetime system warranty. We guarantee that the levels will stay at 4.0 or below for the lifetime of the system.
So on the flip side of that, I've been in my home for like a bajillion years.
That's a bunch.
I know, it feels forever. I've got the stuff to prove it. With that said, is there a certain period of time, like when we bought our home, our radon was good, but should we periodically have radon testing?
We recommend every couple years. Some of the stuff that I love learning this stuff. One of what we know and understand today is radon accumulates more in the wintertime. Blankets of snow on the outside, path of least resistance, it's holding the radon down outside, so it rises up in your home. And when, you got to heat your home, but whenever you're heating your home, it actually pulls more radon into the home. And then when it's cold outside, yeah, it's making it rise in the winter. One of the things when we're testing with that digital monitor especially, is when it's raining really hard, it'll cause the radon to spike in the house. There'll be way high levels, and that really interferes with the averages for that 48 hours. And sometimes we have to retest or look at that. Did it spike long enough to make the levels high, or was they naturally high? Sometimes we have to look at that.
So last week screwed up everything for you.
Hi, this is so appropriate because we have a radon mitigation system in the last several weeks. It's been making a lot of noise, like a thump, since it's in the dryer. And I took it this weekend and he said, there's something wrong with the fan, and he said, I heard this having just water that needs to evaporate. Have you heard of that? And if there's a fix for that, because it seems to have the system.
Yeah, depending on the system and the ventilation, there are rain caps you can put on the top. We stopped putting the rain caps on in Colorado, just simply because, the very first winter we get called back to take the cap off because a big old iceberg formed. It gets cold and there is enough condensation, moisture involved that, when we take the cap off, the vent pipe is about, it's 3x4 downspout. There's not enough water to actually go into that to cause a problem at the fan. But yeah, you can hear it sometimes and it dissipates, and then if it goes into the soil or the sump pit, it's not harming that much. But yeah, that's also why we put the 10-year fan warranty on, so that if you're ever struggling with it, and if it's somebody else's system, we swap out fans for people if they can't find the other radon mitigation company, or the other company isn't willing to come back and do anything, or a repair or anything else, yeah, give us a call.
What about apartment buildings? How are they regulated for them?
Yeah, that's interesting. Different floors of the building, depending on what the building was even made out of, can have high levels of radon on upstairs apartments. And yeah, it's still about pulling it out from the soil down below and getting it vented out. Matter of fact, we've got 9 system installations with Teller County Habitat for Humanity. They're building 9 units in Woodland Park that we landed the contract to do the mitigation system. So we're doing radon ready. When it's built, all we have to do is install the fan. After the building is built, and we'll be putting the fans in the attic. A radon fan with the standards of procedures and the guidelines that we work with the NRPP, the National Radon Proficiency Program. A radon fan is not, there's not to be any living space above the radon fan, because the fan has the potential of re-entering gas into the house. That's why the fan goes on the outside of the building. So we put them in the attic. In radon-ready circumstances, we can put them in the attic, and then the gas is just vented out through the top of the roof.
Are there any physical symptoms that I didn't test my house? Do you cough a lot? How do you know you've been exposed for long times to radon?
Doctors and wellness. For me personally, it's just been, matter of fact, in the next couple of weeks with the VA, I've got chest x-rays, just what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, part of the gas is you can't smell it, so
Yeah,
you don't
it's
know that it's
colorless, odorless,
happening unless
tasteless.
you get it tested.
Yeah, and really the way to know if you're long-term exposure, overexposure to radon is just testing in the building. There's mandates for people that actually work in like the uranium industry and everything that, and there's a real science to it. But you can only work certain hours and, exposure to radon.
What is your business footprint? Because you say mountain, metro, and rural. So what is your regional footprint?
We're installing systems. We're testing in Colorado Springs all the way out east. We've had systems in Littleton, Evans, Greeley, Pueblo, Cannon City, Leadville, Buena Vista, Pueblo. Yeah, yeah. You call, we'll come.
As business owners, can we have you come in and test a potential space we're going to lease?
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, there's a dear sweet lady that I've worked with, and she's from Denver, and she moved down south. She's absolutely beautiful pottery, a pottery business, and she found a shop down south in southern Colorado, and it's her commercial space, and it's her home. And yeah, we did a commercial mitigation system, and yeah, we love to work with businesses and business property owners.
All right, this is perfect timing. We have time for a super special question. You guys know what it is. I see James in the back.
What can we do as a community to support you?
Get the word out of what we offered this morning. Please, make our phone ring. Let me see how to describe this. I've lived a life of just being in service. Growing up on a ranch, we fed the nation. I found that the things that I've been really passionate about in life was my service in the Navy, law enforcement. I've realized I've never been really a very good employee. Just growing up in that rural cowboy country mindset with my parents and everything. Just being an employee never really worked. But owning a business that I'm actually passionate about and providing the service that we provide, just an extreme amount of passion. And the guys, the folks that work with us, we've got 2 other installers with me now, and we're looking to grow there too. And it just seems like we're attracting people that are of the same mindset. So yeah, it's just really getting the word out, you know, and for us, and take advantage of these flyers. You know, if you don't use it for yourself personally, please get it to your neighbors, your friends, your families. Just let them know that it was from this presentation. And yeah, we'd love to work with anybody.